top 10 horror movies of all time. Welcome to our channel. Subscribe and join our zoo community. In today's video, we are going to take a look at top 10 horror movies of all time. Before jumping into the video, don't forget to hit the like button and show us some love. 10. The Cabinet of Dr Caligari, 1920. The Cabinet of Dr Caligari was the first art film, and it has cemented its place as one of the finest early feature-length horror films. The design and technique of the German expressionist used in the film is so haunting that this movie still remains frightening even 100 years later. The movie revolves around young German Francis, who is fascinated by a carnival sideshow which is run by an eccentric and odd-looking man named Caligari. Caligari claims that he has the power over a sleepwalker named Caesar, but everything gets frightening as people start turning up dead. German Francis makes a demonstration of Caligari's strange psychological hold over Caesar. He suspects that Caligari is behind all of these murders, but at the same time, Caligari discovers that Francis has a weak spot in his lover named Jane. Their amazing story was transformed into a marvel by the art director Robert Wayne. He created haunting images that are unforgettable. It is definitely a scary flick, but if you stick with us till the end of the video, you will get to know about several others that are even scarier. 9. The House of the Devil, 2009. Ty West is known for the retro-inspired, consistent chillers in the movies that are a delight for the modern audience. He loves to give his film and old-fashioned looks. He does all this while creating a new path for himself in each of his films, but he will have a tough time to create another marvel like the amazing work he did for The House of the Devil. Although the movie starts like any other cheap teen horror film from the 80s, but as it slowly progresses, it reveals itself to be one of the savviest and the scariest movies of the last 3 decades. The movie revolves around Samantha, who wants to make some quick cash in a hurry to pay the deposit of her new apartment. In all of this desperation, she agrees to babysit for an odd couple who is living on the edge of the town. Surprisingly, all she needs to do is stay out of the baby's room, and they will pay her enough money for the deposit of her new apartment. Of course, nothing is what it seems to be. Yes, the bodies start piling up. The House of the Devil is a truly terrifying experience, and it is made even more haunting and richer by Ty West's love for genre. 8. Cat People, 1942. Hungarian producer Val Lewton had a short and ill-fated career in Hollywood, but during this short period, he created 9 of the greatest horror movies in the American cinema. His love for the genre was remarkable, and it is reflected in his films. He died without even knowing that he was leaving an important legacy behind. In Cat People, an architect named Oliver meets a seductive immigrant named Irina, and it looks like love at first sight. But it comes with a deadly hang-up. When the woman is aroused, she worries that she will become a panther. The movie is haunting, charming, and devilishly scary. Cat People works even better than the monster flicks that Universal has produced, and surprisingly, it was designed to compete with it. 7. The Ring, 2002. The Ring is a supernatural marvel of Gore Verbinski. This supernatural tale is the remake of the 1998 Japanese horror film titled as Ringu. It is based on the novel of the same name by Kohei Suzuki. The story revolves around a journalist who is investigating the legend of a videotape, which consists of mystifying and disturbing images. The catch here is that when a given picture is watched, it leads to a phone call which foretells the death of the viewer in the next 7 days. The film is led by an impassionate performance from Naomi Watts. The film is truly heavy on the atmosphere. Thanks to the isolated and gloomy setting based in Seattle, it offers some terrifying and genuine scares. It is deliberately paced, and the dark, unsettling, and the thrilling twist in the movie slowly reveal the mystifying plot that will hold the audience till the end. This was the first American remake of a Japanese horror. It is equally loved by the audience as the original movie. It spawned 3 sequels and paved way for more remakes of Japanese horror films in the American cinema. 6. The Tales from the Hood, 1995. Tales from the Hood is an updated twist on the British Amicus production anthology, which was popular during the 60s and 70s. The movie unfolds much like the Amicus films, which usually follow a group of strangers who come together to face some evil soothsayer, and in a series of unfortunate events, learn how they will die. Tales from the Hood revolve around 3 crime players who visit a funeral parlor which is run by a creepy mortician. Their intention is to buy the found drugs from him and then sell it. Of course, they will get the ultimate bargain. The mortician instead recites 3 horror stories to them. It spooks them, and suddenly the mortician reveals its true self. The trio meets their fate in this way. Not only the movie stays true to its genre, but it also gives potent commentary on the issues like Black experience, racism, and police brutality. 5. The Exorcist, 1973. The movie revolves around Regan McNeil, who has started to behave in ways that is perplexing to the psychiatrists and doctors. She harms herself, swears, and has the power of 2 men. When pressed, she claims to be the devil. When surgery and tests fail, 2 priests are brought in to try their luck. William Friedkin doesn't spare a chance to torment the characters and the audience in this horror flick. 4. Psycho, 1960. The story revolves around Marion Crane, who steals a briefcase full of money and decides to stay the night at Bates Motel, which is run by an odd and awkward man, Norman. After having a strange dinner, he takes a shower and then suddenly meets with Norman's mother. Psycho changed the way people looked for horror film. Suddenly, no one was safe. No character, no space, not even the traditional concept of good and evil. Anything could be fair in the game. Hitchcock even penetrated the safest confines of the horror flick. 3. Kironico, 1968. The legacy of the Japanese horror is stories, long and filled with strange techniques and uncanny images of the ghostly things which have been twisted beyond recognition. Director Kaneto Shindo is the genius behind this flick. The movie revolves around a veteran who returns from war as a hero. On his arrival, he comes to know that his mother and wife have been murdered by mall-raiding deserters. Their ghosts are now haunting the grove near his home. The director presents the silence of the grove and the bursts like an orchestra. There is a perfect command of scare scenes and the loss and longing that drives the ghost and their vanquisher. 2. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, 1974. This movie changed the horror genre forever. It revolves around a group of friends who stumble upon a house of horror in Texas. Things get even more terrifying when the audience is introduced to one of the horror's most terrifying villains, Leatherface, who is clad in a mask stitched together from human skin. By escaping the attacks of Leatherface, Sally becomes the first final girl who emerges from chrysalis of terror to be an angel of vengeance. 1. Eyes Without a Face, 1960. In 1869, the French gave us cinema, and in 1960, they showed us how strange and personal the horror films can get. Before all the action begins, the movie started with the surgeon, Dr. Genesier, who horribly injures the face of his daughter in an accident. He is now on a mission to repair his scarred face by any means, even if he has to kidnap young women and steal their faces. This film is a strange work of art that cuts deep into the memory of the viewers. You've just watched 10 best horror movies of all time. Have you seen any of these flicks? Tell us in the comments below. Thanks for watching Life Hack Giraffe. Please make sure to click the bell button and subscribe for more mind-bending videos. We hope you liked it. See you in our next video.